NBC5's Amanda Fitzpatrick has more on this developing story. Amanda, what's the latest?
Good morning. You know, Lindsay, it happened just sometime after midnight. Students from James Madison High School were inside here for a graduation party, and that's when things went horribly wrong. Now, there was an altercation inside the party, a scuffle ensued, and it moved outside. That's when Dallas police say shots were fired. Now, 5 people were shot and injured. Most of the partygoers, though, were under the age of 18. Now, the party was happening at South Malcolm X and Pennsylvania. Fortunately, no one died. Now, victims were taken to area hospitals for treatment. Again, you can see right here just that the building has been chained up. One witness over here actually told us that one of the students made it, I guess, near her house, and she was out there this morning trying to clear the blood from her driveway. So again, this just happening overnight with 5 students shot. Fortunately, though, again, no one has died. For now, we're live in Dallas. Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5. Well, good morning. You know, it was definitely a shocking discovery for that mother who was working inside of the Marshall store. She was working right here, and as she finished her shift, she came out here to this parking lot, and that's when she discovered that her son, who was inside this car here to pick her up, had been shot. You can still see the glass there on the ground. We want to show you some video from last night. It happened just after 10. Her son, again, was here to pick her up like he did every day, but when she went to get inside the vehicle, that's when she found out the devastating news. Dallas police talked to NBC5 about the horrible discovery.
They saw that he was dead.
Again, we know the driver was the only one in the vehicle. Detectives aren't able, though, to tell us if he was shot inside or outside. Mom was too distraught to talk, so they were unable to question her to find out if anything was even missing from the car, which makes it hard for authorities, they told us, to determine if it was robbery. Now, again, a mother's worst nightmare. Will continue to follow this story and have an update for you in the next half hour. For now, we're live in Dallas. Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5.
NBC5's Amanda Fitzpatrick is live at that home this morning. Amanda, what are you learning from investigators this morning?
Well, good morning. You know, investigators had their hands full. Again, a grandfather, a father shot overnight. And just looking here over my shoulder, you'll notice that the family still standing out here. They've been mourning this morning over what happened. Now, it all happened right here at this home that you see behind me. You can still see the crime scene tape. Now, they told NBC5 a group of men walked into the house and began attacking the family inside, including beating up a 16-year-old girl. 2 other relatives were also attacked, and then the grandfather of that teen was shot and killed. Now, I have to also tell you, I watched as the family came outside here, and again, this all happening, just a shock to the family. One of the men, one of the relatives that was attacked, I saw his face. He had cuts and bruises. Now, the family was afraid to talk on camera because, again, this is still an ongoing investigation. The police have not released any names of any suspects. So, again, we'll continue to follow this story and have an update for you in the afternoon newscast. For now, we're live in Dallas. Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5.
And Amanda, since you're there, I just want to ask, in talking to those people who we see are just behind you there, does anybody seem to have any idea why this would have happened? I mean, do they know who these people may have been?
Good question, Ben. When I asked the family if it was a home invasion, they said it was not a home invasion, and they said they did not want to comment any further because it's still an ongoing investigation, and they didn't want to throw off the police investigation into who did this. But I got just a feeling from talking to a couple of the relatives behind me that they kind of have an idea of who may be responsible. So again, we don't want to give away too much information. It's still an ongoing investigation. For now, we're live in Dallas. Ben, back to you. Renzo Moreno lived at this quiet home in Dallas for more than 40 years.
Oh, he was the nicest man. He never, ever a bad word you can say about him.
But it would be just after midnight Sunday when relatives say their lives would be turned upside down.
That's cruel. They don't know what they did,
You took my heart away from me.
They took a good man.
Dallas police say 2 females and a male rushed inside the Moreno home.
I just saw Rick. He looks horrible.
Anita Moya says her nephew Ricky tried to fight off the attackers.
When he heard the door, he tried to answer it, but they tried to force themselves in, and that's when he started fighting them.
Ricky suffered major blows to his face and head. Just released from the hospital, you can still see the injuries.
He kept fighting them and fighting them, and And Della said that had Ricky not fought them, they would have killed them all.
The family says the attackers were after Moreno's 15-year-old granddaughter.
They were here to kill her because she said she heard them. Ricky and Adela said they heard them when they said, that's her, kill her, kill her.
And that they shot 68-year-old Moreno as he was trying to protect her.
Ricky said he charged him. My father was a fighter, Ricky said, and my dad charged him, you know? And that's who they got.
Dallas police say the teen, who also suffered severe blows to the head and face, had been in an ongoing feud with one of the female attackers for several months. Family members unable to hold back tears, now trying to find comfort in each other's embrace. And remember the man who gave his life defending his family.
He was always working. He's just a good man. Never bothered anybody, never said a bad word to anybody. It's just unbelievable. Anybody but him.
Dallas police are still investigating. The family says they want the people responsible to know that they killed a good man who was just defending his family. In Dallas, Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5.
Let's pave the way!
The NAACP began their march in Arlington on Division Street, the center of the controversy.
It's been known to kind of divide the city economically, racially, and so we chose that street because, you know, it would be most fitting to bring unity to the city.
They would like to see the Division Street renamed to honor civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Arlington is the largest metropolitan city in the United States that does not have a Dr. King Street.
Chanting all the way. Many holding signs that read, "No more division." Others, images of the slain civil rights leader. Leading the charge, Arlington NAACP President Silk Little John Gamble, who spoke to the crowd of nearly 100 in front of the symbolic Cowboys Stadium.
If we can come together to support this dream, why can't we come together to support the dream of ending the division?
Though the group was met with some opposition. One protester says the businesses would have to foot the bill when it comes to making new signs and printing correspondence of a new street name.
Would these people have compassion if they impose upon the businesses up and down Division Street financial burdens to change the name of the street?
80% of the property owners will have to sign this petition before it will even be considered. Just as Arlington City Councilman Robert Rivera.
The NAACP has made a request, and the city is making sure that the consensus building is there in order to create whatever change comes from that consensus building.
But members are optimistic it will happen.
We're working on it. We're working on it, so I can only see what happens.
I have a dream.
In Arlington, Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5. Under the moonlit sky, preparations are underway.
Test.
The pews, the walls, the roof, replaced by lawn chairs and blankets. But this is no picnic.
That tree's just like our lives has been flipped upside down a little bit, and we've been trying to figure out what we're doing.
In the shadow of debris and uprooted trees caused by last week's tornado, nearly 400 members of St. Barnabas United Methodist Church still gather.
It took part of the roof off of our Family Life Center. It broke a lot of windows in our education building. It broke some of our stained glass windows in our sanctuary.
Some of the members here have lost homes. Some have lost vehicles, but no one has lost their faith.
We don't really understand the true meaning of it until something like this happens, and it just reminds you that to be thankful for everything.
If Easter is a day of resurrection, then let the rebuilding begin. With all of this damage to the church leaders say it's going to take a lot of storm cleanup trying to rebuild the church to what it once was. They say the church plans to reopen this summer. In Arlington, Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5. His name is Lightning Medicine Cloud.
You open a lot of hearts. You open a lot of minds. You come in here strong from Buffalo Calf Whooping and our Creator.
On Saturday, the sacred rare white calf would have turned 1. But instead of celebrating his birth, Lakota Sioux tribe are now mourning his death.
And it's still fresh in everybody's mind. Everybody is so disappointed. Everybody is so supportive and so hurt.
ARBY Little Soldier is the owner of the LAKOTA Ranch, where Lightning Cloud and his mother lived. Both were found mutilated, slaughtered, and skinned. Now, through burnt offerings, hundreds gather in a tribal circle, placing gifts in remembrance of the sacred calf.
I had so many hugs yesterday. You know, my shoulders are worn out from hugging. My tears are done flowing because of all the crying that we've been doing.
As elders looked on, many distraught, believing the calf was sent with the purpose from the spiritual buffalo calf woman to unite the Indian nation.
We're a starving people. We're having a hard time spiritually. And she brought unity back to the Lakota Nation and all Indian nations.
Now, just hoping the mission of unity will carry on.
They disgraced our tribe, thinking our nation and what they did to us here. But what they did is just open the doors for unity for all people.
And there is a glimmer of hope. The Sacred World Peace Alliance in Oregon planned to donate one of their white buffalo bulls here to LAKOTA Ranch in hopes that it will produce another white calf. In LAKOTA Ranch, Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5.
Honor to serve with you out here.
On this Memorial Day holiday, while many are cooking out, these volunteers are giving back.
And I wanted to teach my kids that Memorial Weekend is Memorial Weekend and what that really means. And it's more than just about going to the parade and going down to the hall and listening to music.
900 volunteers came here to DFW National Cemetery, each with their own reason. The Jones family do it in honor of those in their family who risked their lives.
My grandfather served in World War II. My dad served in Vietnam. My husband served in Desert Storm, his nephew in Iraqi Freedom. And I wanted to teach my children what Memorial Day is really about. And thought this was the right way to do it, and this is the least we could do.
Giving veterans like Tina's husband, Brian, an opportunity to honor the friends he lost.
It's personal. It's one of the several days of the year that you can come out here like this and honor those that serve this country and have kept it free. And freedom isn't free. And if you look around, you can see that there's a lot of people that gave their lives, and others that carried around the traumas of all this their whole lives. So I think it's important that we honor them, and do our best to help out. And volunteering to put these flags up is a good way to do that.
A new flag is put in the ground. For Tina, it also means teaching her 9-year-old son about pride.
You know what, Weldon? Huh? Look at that. This is somebody that could have served with everybody in our family. Uncle James was in Korea. Yes. Papa was in Vietnam. And Papa was in World War II.
And after each step, taking time to say thanks.
Say thank you, Mr. Moss.
Thank you. I forgot.
Okay, yeah, don't touch the headstone.
For each volunteer who came here and gave up their Sunday, they all said the same thing, that they just wanted to pay their respects for the men and women who gave their lives for our country. At DFW National Cemetery, Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5.
Hi, we're One Direction.
They came.
I'm Niall.
I'm Liam.
I'm Zane.
I'm Harry.
And I'm Louie.
They saw.
You're turning heads when you walk through the doors.
They conquered.
Being the way that you are is enough.
It just spreads like crazy. It's like a virus, One Direction infection.
Bringing some fans to tears.
And within 10 minutes, I'm gonna be out there and watching them in real life after looking at them over the computer screen.
But before the big show, we got a chance to get a kiss and an interview backstage with the boy band made famous after singing on X Factor UK. So what do they think about all the One Direction mania?
It's just incredible. I mean, I don't really know what to think about it. We're just really, really happy about what's happening.
Some have compared the British-Irish group to the Beatles, acclaimed band members humbly deny.
I think that statement is obviously ridiculous. When we hear it, we're like, what? Because obviously the Beatles were massive, they were iconic. So for us to get that kind of compliment, that's what we take it as, just a compliment, I guess.
After our one-on-one, the group did their sound check and was ready to meet their adoring fans.
When we came to America, we were really, really hoping, and we thought it would have been amazing to get a top 10 album. So to have it explode up like this and get a #1 album and come to Dallas and see crowds like this outside, we never expected any of this.
In Frisco, Amanda Fitzpatrick, NBC5.